No one is perfect, not even the Uggs. But don't tell them I said that. Here are some screw-ups, edits, and extras from the last episode of The Ugly Truth. We call them Ugly Cuts.
So Jana Squagus Nugget was having like this huge display. So we sat in our room and we watched the fireworks. And
the 5-star experience.
Yeah, so it was really cool. So
that's good.
We finally left and we headed home and everyone was exhausted. And
good. Wore them out.
Wore everyone out. We all went to bed at like 8 o'clock.
You're like, no one talk to me. I'm going to bed.
She fell asleep. We were barely on the freeway, and she was conked out. So
that means it was a good adventure.
Yes, it was a good. And I forgot to tell you, we even went swimming.
You went swimming?
No, I didn't go.
I was going to say, let's not get crazy.
That only lasted like 15 minutes because the pool was freezing.
They didn't heat the freaking pool?
No, and it's outdoors too.
What? So, it's Reno. You'd think it would be pseudo heated.
What I thought. So Victor said he got in with them because he's a good sport.
Sure,
but he says it's the kind of water where you think like, it's just cold when you get in. You'll get used to it. He's like, I never got used to it.
No. So you can tell when it's not heated. You're like, this is just an oppressive chill. This isn't going anywhere. Like, it is not warming.
Cold the whole time.
Was there a spa? I mean, was there even a jacuzzi?
Well, and the problem with the pool is it was under construction.
Oh my gosh.
It didn't even look nice. So,
well, at least, I mean,
one downfall, but
yeah, you know what? No one will even remember any of that. Well, you and I would remember it, but
we'll remember how cold the pool was. But I mean, it wasn't. At least she can say that we went.
Sure.
If we hadn't gone, then she would have just been like, "Well, I really wanted to go to the pool, so we can maybe have a cake." And
has she not had a cake yet?
And like the four of us, we can,
maybe we'll have pizza
happy
for
birthday
dinner
and do candles. I said, but that's all we're doing. We're not doing anything.
Has she not had her cake yet?
Well, actually, it was really sweet. When we did the room service, we did breakfast room service.
Yeah.
And so the guy that brought the room service, he was really nice and talkative and everything. And Olivia said, it's my birthday. And he's like, it's your birthday. And he says, you don't have any cake. So he, left. And then like 10 minutes later, there was a knock on the door, and he brought her back like a little tiny piece of cake with a candle on it.
Oh, well, that was nice.
Wasn't that the sweetest thing ever?
That is.
And so
very nice.
She got to eat her little cake and have her candle and everything like that. So.
God, when we order breakfast room service, I literally hide in the bathroom because I don't want it. I just like, just bring me the coffee.
I was asleep on the bed when he came in because I hadn't slept the whole night.
Luckily, Daryl learned after one time to stop the gentleman with the tray of stuff at the entryway. Because that has happened where they just come sauntering in because they've seen it all. And they just walk in and I'm like, next time you stop him at the door, give him $5 and tell him thank you and walk out. Do not let him come in and set up. Seriously. Don't do it.
We had the big old table that like unfolded and all that stuff. And he was trying to like take the plastic off the orange juice. And,
and that's the thing. It's like, you just go, thank you, that'll do. And, it only took one time for me to go, how dare you let him see me like this? And then, now we know. I'm like, and, we'll have it set and I'll wake up and I'll look at him. I'm like, do you have your money ready? Are you dressed? I mean, and now he's super, super prepared. He knows.
Meanwhile, you're squatting on the side of the bed buck naked.
Pretty much. I might have a sheet. Right. But other than that, it's like, just don't do it. Yeah.
So
go ahead.
The lesson here is plan a birthday party
for your damn kids.
If you don't, you will spend 3 times the amount not having a birthday party.
I would agree. There have definitely been, and you know what? It's a little guilt-ridden because I can remember years where not Natalie so much, but the other 3, I can remember years where they didn't have an actual birthday party, and it does definitely increase the budget because you have a little bit of a guilt complex because you're like, they should be with their friends, they should be, you know, doing the kid thing, and you feel bad about it, so you do stuff that you would never have done before.
Well, and especially because her dad, Victor, he's got to work on her birthday, so he's not going to get home until probably close to 7,
right?
And so we're thinking like, well, what could we actually do? So that's why we did all these things before her birthday.
Yeah. Isn't it funny that kids don't get it? They don't care.
Yeah, no, because you just tell them it's their birthday, and they're like,
it's my birthday. What are we doing? What am I getting? What's happening? Yeah,
they don't understand the difference between, you know, what the difference is.
They're like, well, I mean, I really appreciated all of the fun stuff we did leading up to the actual day, but the actual day is the day, right? They don't understand.
Now she knows. Yeah.
Oh, good.
So
she's getting it now.
Clearly she understands. And
well, good.
She's my one child that we've had to have multiple discussions about being grateful.
Gracious. Yes.
And gracious.
I remember one year, I don't remember, I think it was Tyler, and he got, it was his birthday, and he opened up presents, and he goes, "Is this all there is?" And he said it in front of 20 people. And the thing is that it's absolutely organic, and they just don't see why that was so inappropriate. They just don't get it. They're kids, but that's how you teach. That's how you teach them that is not appropriate, and that you need to somehow find it in your heart to lie and say you're grateful and that you're happy with everything you got and you don't need another thing, even though we all know that you would love to have 100 more things. Just let's call it a day.
Hello?
But it's true. But that's how you teach. That's how you teach them how, you know, that you like what you have and you're grateful for it. Uh-oh. Lost connection. Keeping on the recording. Shit. She said this would happen. Hello?
Hi, sorry, my internet dropped.
That's okay. I knew it would probably happen. That's why that's why we started right away. So not bad. But
I don't know. I don't really... Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I also think it's because we grew up in kind of a small town. And a lot of people marry the boy or girl next door, and it kind of just works.
Yeah.
You know, it takes an...
Oops. Shit.
Is that Indian music?
No.
What was that? Hello? Oh.
What's up? Good, I'm just recording my show. Is everything okay?
I'm sorry.
No. Here, can I call you when we're done?
I didn't mean to interrupt your show.
No, that's fine. That's fine. All right, I'll call you back. All right, bye. All right, go ahead.
Oh, I don't remember what we were talking about anymore. Sorry.
Oh, you were just saying that at your wedding, it was very liberating knowing that you could just bolt. But on the same token, you know, what's the alternative, you know?
Exactly. Well, I mean, and that's the thing. It's like back then, you know, and it sucks. I mean, it sucks because we're still pretty young, but it sucks because it's like the holiday is depressing now. There's nothing to do, and you know, if people are having parties, it's because they have kids for sparklers and stuff. It's just not the same.
So we have to be. That's what he was calling me about. So we're trying to, you know, figure all this out, and like, how are we going to get our whole life out of this apartment and into that house
as quickly as possible
in the next week and a half, basically.
Kind of basically the best thing to do is, I mean, this is what we did when we moved into this house, because within less than 30 days, we owned this place. We had no idea it would go so quickly, but we were so over-prepared, probably like you were for this. Mm-hmm. You're so over-prepared. You're like, yeah, you can move in now. You're like, what? So it's like we rented a U-Haul and just boxed everything up as quickly as possible and just took it. We didn't even like organize anything. And whatever we didn't want, we left behind. We just left it behind because realistically, you probably aren't going to get your deposit back because most people don't give them back. Even if you leave that place professionally cleaned, they don't care. They're gonna, and the thing that sucks too is that when you guys leave, they're gonna gut that thing because they're renovating.
Right.
So they should give it to you, but you know they won't. And then it just
Probably
pisses you
not.
off.
I don't know. I mean, I had an $1,100 deposit here.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's a lot.
I mean, I should get something back. But, you know, especially if they're going to completely gut it, because they're going to put hardwood floors in here, tile, all
everything.
that stuff. So there should be no
double the
reason.
Rent. Yeah.
But, you know, I'm not too sure. Because the only person Victor has to move is himself. He doesn't have anybody to help him. And so he's just thinking, if I don't have anybody to help me, and we have, you know, basically this whole apartment, he's like, if I can hire 2 movers and they promise they can move this entire apartment and put it in the other house in a day, then I might just do that.
It's worth it. Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I'm not opposed. And
because
so I just need to know what we have to get out of their way.
Usually you just have to pack the stuff. They don't usually pack. They just move.
Like big stuff.
Yeah, they move the big stuff and they'll move the boxes if they're packed.
Yeah, and so we just need to get boxes.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if I have it, how many I have.
I mean, we have a recycle like cardboard box thing here, and so I might go dig through there and see if there's any boxes.
God,
the good news is what?
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say that.
Speaking of when Daryl, he travels quite a bit, and he went to Salt Lake City a couple of months ago, and he was in the hotel there, and I said, do they have the Book of Mormon, or do they have the Bible from the Gideons in there? And he goes, oh, I don't know. And so he's talking to me. He's looking through the hotel room, and he goes, well, here's the Bible. He goes, Book of Mormon, right next to it.
Of course there is.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense, but I just was wondering if it was really, you know, is it really that Mormon-y there? Yeah. Yeah, it is. I mean, you know, it's the Mecca, right? Isn't Salt Lake City, like, that's where the main temple is and stuff? So why wouldn't it be there?
Utah is the whole Mecca.
I think there's more. I think it's more saturated in Salt Lake City.
Oh, sure.
But yeah, there's like historical monuments there for the main guy, whatever that guy's name was. I can't think of it. Joseph Smith. His house that housed his many wives is there. It's like a kind of like the governor's mansion here. You can just like walk by it. It's all preserved and stuff. So I don't know. Stephanie and I went through Salt Lake City once when we were on our way to Denver. We were super young. We were probably 21. Well, I was 21, 22. That means Stephanie was like 19. And we were on our way to Denver. For some reason, we thought that would be a good idea. And we had a great time, but we weren't old enough to do anything. So it was like, why did we do that? But we went through Salt Lake City. And back then, it was very conservative, very different. Daryl went through and he's like, it doesn't feel like that anymore. It's actually quite international because they weren't profitable. They had to kind of open it up a bit and be a little less conservative religiously when it comes to businesses. Like now there's like wine bars and stuff and beer places, which never would have existed back then. So I was like, well, that's good. I mean, I'm glad to hear it because it does, you feel uncomfortable if you've never been somewhere where it's very prevalent in a certain way of living. It feels different. But he said it's not like that anymore. So I'm glad to hear that because it was different when we went through. And we were just through the airport. I can't imagine what it would have been like going through the town if you weren't Mormon. It must have felt uncomfortable for you. So
probably, yeah.
Anyway, Gideons, those damn Gideons. So,
which is weird because I've never met a Gideon in my life.
Me neither. I always thought the Gideons were all men. Is the Gideonites? Isn't it a male-oriented club of some kind or something?
Might be.
I don't know. I've never met a Gideonite or a Gideon, so I don't even know. I like saying the name Gideon. It sounds cool, but I would never name my child Gideon. Gideon Bartholomew.
Yeah, really.
Thanks for checking out this week's Ugly Cuts. Join us for an all-new episode dropping every Sunday on your favorite podcast platform and, of course, uglytruth.com. That's UGLEE truth.com.